Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beans Worthy Entertainment. My name is Beans. In this video, we're going to go over and we're going to break down the Thursday night football game to kick off Week 11 of the 2023 NFL season. I'm just a guy behind a camera saying what I think is going to happen based on what I've seen this season and the statistics that we are about to go over. I've got a little worksheet that I prepared for us to go over, and you guys can go ahead and look at the numbers yourselves. Hope everybody enjoys the video, and with that being said, hit that like button if you do. Also, if you're curious, check out the other content on my channel. I've got other videos and streams. Slowly working my way there, and it's more of a side gig, but I do this every single day of the week with content creation. But hit that subscribe button, become part of the Beansworthy Entertainment family if you want to. Love and appreciate everybody that is part of the Beansworthy Entertainment family. We've got a Discord. I've got my Snapchat that's up here and everything. So all you got to do is ask. Everybody's pretty good and respectful to each other. And with that being said, be kind and respectful to others. And most of all, be kind and respectful to yourself. You're the number one person in this world. Nobody matters more than you do. Let's go ahead and get into the Thursday night football game. And over here, I've got it already set up for us. And I don't even have to take my camera away. We actually got it set up. So it's good here. And we've got an AFC North battle that I'm really, really intrigued to see how it ends up. We've got the Cincinatti Bengals going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, who just lost to my Cleveland Browns last week. So it's a pivotal game that is going on right here if the Bengals end up winning. But honestly, in all reality, I'm probably still going to pick the Ravens side of this one. The Browns did immaculate, but we're talking about this game. The Cincinnati Bengals, they are number 12 on the NFL.com power rankings list with a 5-4 record. They are 2-2 on the road and last in the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens, they are number 3 on the power rankings list from NFL.com with a 7-3 record. They are 3-2 at home and first in the AFC North. Going into these numbers, let's get the stats for the Bengals on offense. They have 301.7 total yards per game, 226.9 passing yards per game, and 74.8 rushing yards per game. So they're worse than the league when it comes to running the ball. 16th in the league to passing and 24th overall. They have 18. I almost got the math screwed up there. Woo! Gonna keep it in. Keep on rolling. 18 touchdowns, 14 receiving, and 4 rushing. They've got 20.2 points per game, which is 20th in the league, and 90.3 QBR, which is 15th, right middle of the road. 22 sacks allowed, tied for 15th. So, other than, they don't have a good running game, but at the same time, when you look at it, at least Joe Burrow is getting healthier. They did take an unfortunate loss against the Texans at the last minute. There was a lot of games that were decided on kicks last week. Turnover-wise, the Bengals only have given up 6 interceptions and 2 fumbles. Their stat leaders on offense, we got Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, and Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow, he's got 233 completions on 348 attempts, 2,208 yards, 14 touchdowns, and those 6 interceptions. Joe Mixon has 137 carries, 536 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, he's got 69 catches, 821 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He should be back and healthy again. Good to go, according to the injury report that I literally checked right before here. Moving over to the Ravens side, their offense is kind of opposite of the road. Lamar has been doing his thing, and Gus Edwards came out of nowhere, and Keaton Mitchell is actually balling out. So that running game is the best in the league right now. But let's get the number. I'm gonna get the numbers for you. They're right here if you want to look at them. But I'm going to rattle them off. The Ravens offense has 362.7 total yards per game, 207.8 passing yards per game, and 154.9 rushing yards per game. Like I said, they are best in the league running the ball. They've also got 19 rushing touchdowns, which is best in the league. We'll get onto that. But when it comes to passing, they are 20th in the league and 9th overall with yards per game. Scoring wise, they have 30 touchdowns, 11 receiving, and 19 rushing. They are 5th in the league with 27 points per game, and 98.5 quarterback rating puts them at number 9 in the league for quarterback rating. So Lamar, like I said, Lamar's doing his thing. They're tied for 21st with 24 sacks allowed with the offensive line, so they've been having a little bit of troubles with that. Turnovers, they've given up 5 interceptions and 9 fumbles. Ball security is a little bit alarming when you look at that number for fumbles. Their stat leaders on offense, they got Lamar Jackson, Gus Edwards, and Zay Flowers. Lamar, he's got 194 completions on 276 attempts, 2,177 yards, 10 touchdowns on those 5 interceptions. Gus has 121 carries, 502 yards, and 8 touchdowns this year. He is doing great in the red zone, and especially he is an absolute workhorse, and I love to watch him play. And people that have him in fantasy, I've been reaping the benefits of it a little bit. But moving forward, Zay Flowers, he's got 50 catches, 545 yards, and 1 touchdown this year. Looking at both of these offenses, it might be a little tough to tell between the two of them. Actually, I don't know. It does favor the Ravens a lot. So if I'm going to pick one of these offenses in this matchup, I'm going to pick the Ravens. The Ravens are favored in my eyes. So let's go ahead and scooch down here, and we'll move on. And we got the defense next. The Bengals, they allowed 384 total yards per game, 247.8 passing yards per game, and 136.2 rushing yards per game. So they're 30th in the league against the run, 25th in the league against the pass, and 30th overall when it comes to yards. They have allowed 20 touchdowns, and they have 11 receiving and 9 rushing. They have 21.3 points per game allowed, which is tied for 16th in the league. 82.9 quarterback rating allowed, so that's 9th in the league. And they've got 23 sacks, which is tied for 19th in the league. Turnover-wise, they do have 12 interceptions and 6 fumbles, so they do have the league's best turnover differential of plus 10. And one of those interceptions has been returned for a touchdown. So yardage-wise, not really too well. Points per game, they're middle of the road. But turnover-wise, they're doing great. At least they're... but they do have a low number of turnovers on offense to help out that turnover differential. That for sure. Baltimore, their defense allows 273.6 total yards per game, 173.1 passing yards per game, and 100.5 rushing yards per game. They've only allowed 11 touchdowns this year, 7 receiving and 4 rushing. And yardage-wise, passing, they're 4th in the league. Rushing, they're 11th. Overall, they are 2nd in the league when it comes to yards per game allowed. They are best in the league when it comes to points per game, QBR, and sacks. Points per game, they have 15.7 points per game allowed. The QBR is 70 and 39 sacks. Sorry, I just said a bunch of times. Just they are arguably up there, since the Browns have the yards locked down easily, but when it comes to scoring, the Ravens are the best, but the Browns are slowly actually starting to catch up. Last week didn't really help because it was a high scoring game, but the Browns are still catching up with that shutout against the Cardinals. Just altogether, I'll give it to them. Their defense is great, definitely better than the Bengals defense. So overall as a team, the Ravens are better than the Bengals. Turnover-wise on defense, the Ravens have 10 interceptions and 5 fumbles. Their turnover differential is +1. So even with the Bengals having... Hold on. Even with the Bengals having that much of an advantage with the turnover differential, I still don't see it being an issue. Evan McPherson, he's 14 for 17 on his field goals, 20 for 20 on extra points. So 6.9 points per game from him. Justin Tucker, he's 17 for 21 on field goals and 29 for 30 on extra points. So he's getting 8 points per game. Injury-wise, the Bengals, we got Sam Hubbard that's out. Andre Losavas that is out. T. Higgins is going to be out for a second week. So if you do have him in fantasy, do not start him. Charlie Jones is still on IR. Over on the Ravens side, Ronnie Stanley and Trenton Simpson are going to be out. Daryl Worley, Devin Duvernay, and Worley and Duvernay are questionable. Humphrey is doubtful, but we'll still have to watch and see how that happens. He didn't practice much this week, so that's a key piece of the defense that's going to be a factor in this one, I believe. And then last but not least, before we get into the odds, you guys can already see them right there. Those are the odds. And then I've got the schedule split up between the two teams down here. The Bengals, they've lost to the Browns, Ravens, Titans, and Texans. They have beat the Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, 49ers, and Bills. So some impressive wins, and they were on a nice streak. Unfortunately, they fell to the Texans because of that late game field goal. Their schedule and the Bengals, I feel like the Bengals are right where they need to be. Definitely going to see improvement as Joe Burrow gets healthier. The Ravens side, they have only lost to the Colts, the Steelers, and just last week lost to the Browns. They have beat the Texans, Bengals, Browns, Titans, Lions, Seahawks, and Cardinals. So a couple of gimme wins there and a couple of ones that were a little tough, but they ended up walking away. And the absolute blowout that was against the Lions. That was crazy to see and absolutely not... I didn't see that one coming at all. And then here on the center, we've got the ESPN predictor where they've got the Ravens favored pretty heavily. And Vegas is down here at the bottom with where it opened up. And the current line, the over-under is at 45.5. And the Ravens are favored at 3.5. That's why I got the Ravens right down here. So altogether, Marlon Humphrey is going to be definitely... Marlon Humphrey is definitely going to be a factor if he is not able to play, especially against Joe Burrow. They just took a loss, so they're a little salty. I don't see the Ravens losing this one. So I'm going to pick the Ravens and over under 45.5 points per game. Their averages are over that. So I'll go ahead and take that bet. I'll go with the over, and we'll actually go. I'm going to go 31 Ravens, 21 Bengals. I know that sounds a little bit off, or actually no. We're going to go 30 Ravens, 20 Bengals. Lock that in. 30-20, Ravens win at home over the Bengals. 50 points hits that over. Definitely the spread isn't going to be hit. The 3.5 favor. I mean, I guess it does. Technically. Someone would have to teach me on how that goes. Put something in the comments and everything. This is why I never did FanDuel. Or, I mean, I've done FanDuel and everything, but it's probably why I didn't do too well at it. And that'll be it for the Thursday night football game to kick off week 11 of the 2023 NFL season. Again, thank you guys for watching the video. If you had fun, hit that like button. Explore the other content on the channel if you want to. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button, become part of the Beansworthy Entertainment family. And for those that are already part of the Beansworthy Entertainment family, thank you. I love and appreciate the support. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Be kind and respectful to others, and most of all, be kind and respectful to yourself. You are the number one person in this world. Nobody matters more than you do. Again, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.